Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? It is so awesome to be here with you on this Thursday. I am so excited to be bringing you the newest mini delight, which this one is called Gardener's Corner, which for me just harbingers spring. I cannot wait. We need snow to be, still like a little bit of snow. Snow needs to be gone. And I'm so excited to have flowers coming up and to see, this is the most exciting time in the garden to go in and see what it is that's around. Every day something's coming in. I know I've definitely heard a lot of birds, so I'd love to know, do you have spring around where you are? Is spring something that you're looking forward to? Do you have a garden too? Are you planting anything? I think where I am, we're supposed to be planting our lettuces now, I believe, or starting our lettuce from seed. And so I'd love to know how you're doing. Where are you watching us from tonight or today or this morning or wherever the heck it happens to be? I'd love to know. And how are you doing? And hello, who is behind the badge? I hope I know who it is. Hello. I'm so glad again that you guys are here. I see Spinroo. Hello. And let's see, I see Teresa, Nancy from Colorado, Sue, wonderful weather we're having, huh? Shiomara is here, although today wasn't that great. Betsy and Beth Ann and Misty. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you guys are here. Please share this live, and I see Joanne as well. Please share this live while we're live. And this is Han. Hello, Han. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you were here. Please share this live while we're live, and you'll be entered to win a gift card. And our amazing Han will be announcing the winner at the end of this show. And oh, Judy's here as well. Hello. And Sandra, Redbud Trees. Oh, mine's coming. That's great. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited, Beth Ann. I hope this is exciting. I have to say, I may have put in, this might be a card where I've used way too many products, which is actually probably a good thing because then you can see. And Teresa's like, snow after 88 yesterday. That's not good, Teresa. I'm not excited about that. I need it to be spring. So I heard redbud trees. Are there any other flowers or colors that you're kind of looking forward to? Do you send spring cards? And then I also wanted to ask, because this March is International Women's Month, and I wanted to know if this is a time when you kind of send cards to friends or say hello to them as well, because I feel like these cards could kind of work towards that. And I am working with a little bit of a pastel, because it's spring, so I'm working with a little bit of a pastel, but I have a lot of techniques and I'm really excited. I don't know if I'm going to get to card number 2 today, but I'm definitely going to get through card number 1. And Anne Marie, I'm so glad you were here, and you're a subscriber as well. That's exciting. And thank you so much, Judy, for sharing this to Facebook, and you too can be like Judy and also like Laura. And you too can be like Laura, and you can also win a gift card. And it looks like my screen really, really wants us to get down there. So we're going to work on that right now. All right. And so I know it's a little weathery today, so I think my cameras are going to pop in and out. Sneakily watch from work. Christine, we will not tell. All right. We will not share that you are watching from work. Okay. So, and Crafty Ho-Ho, hello, you're a subscriber. That's exciting. So I'd love to know, has this come? So we're talking today about the Gardener's Corner. All right. And this is just an adorable little set. And I'd love to know, do you have this yet? Because I think this is April. So this is a little bit of a sneak peek for those of you who are like, I don't know what's going on. Or if you're new, if you're a subscriber, this may actually be something that you already have or is going to be on the way. So I hope that today. All right, that should work. All right, how are we doing? I apologize. We got a couple gremlins in the studio today. All right, hello, and Tracy's here. Tracy, we are talking flowers, and we're talking Gardener's Corner. And the mini delight, this one, I know, Sue, am I back? I hope I'm back. It's we got some gremlins going on today. The weather is a little crazy. I hate to say that, but the weather's a little crazy. This is so cute. So this one's coming out, I believe, in April. I'm so glad, Carrie. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Carrie. And I'm back. Yes. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys, hon. I apologize for the gremlins. So like I was saying, this set is so adorable. And I'm going to show you how to use the stamps. I'm going to show you how to use these dies. And I have a bunch of crazy techniques to share with you. So I am going to pull in my camera here. So let's add that camera in, back in. Come on in, gremlins. All right. Yeah, I have to say, Serena, like the larger sets are great, but what's awesome about the small sets is that you really have that option and that ability to do so many different things with that. And that's definitely something that we say around here, is that the mini delights, they really are the they really are the thing that is just a big, huge workhorse. All right, big workhorse. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully this works. Cross your fingers, everybody. There we go. All right, so now I'm down to my screen. You can see me a little bit here. And again, I apologize for all of the glitches. Hopefully that is the stop of our glitches. And what I have here, so this is one card. I haven't tacked anything down because I wanted to show you all the layers. And I'm normally like a really simple kind of crafter, but I really got excited because of this little guy. And again, I didn't tack anything down because I wanted to show you kind of all the things that we have going on here today. So again, we're talking Mini Delight. We have Han behind the badge. And I'm so excited for her to be here today and with all of you. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please share this live, especially if you're like, hey, I love flowers and I love cool Altenew sets. And I want to see what the heck is going on and what kind of craziness did Amy, bring up for us today. So this is what we're starting with. So this set is really neat because what you have here is you have these dies. And what, again, I love about what Altenew is doing with these dies is that this is all so one big thing. And I agree, Missy, like this crate, can you just see this crate everywhere? And I do want to say it's like a 2x2. So it's a cute little size. So I can see it in like multiples, which is so neat. You could do this on, I was going to do like a slimline card because this would be so cute on a slimline card that's 3 inches. Because this is about 2. That would be so adorable. And I'm going to show you, I did some cool stuff. And that's, again, why I didn't tack anything down. Because, I don't know, can you guys see? Can you see that crate shine? Can you see that? So I did a little bit. It's not embossing powder, because you guys know I'm known for embossing powder. But I added some cool stuff to this crate. So, awesome. Oh, hello, Cece. How are you doing today? I see Tracy. I'm so excited you're here, Tracy. And Ginny, thank you so much. And Sylvia's here too. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are here. Oh my God, veggies, herbs, creative tools. Oh, wait till you see that one. And leaf silhouette stamp. Oh yes, wait for this one. So it also comes with these little flower dies. And then what's neat about these flowers is that you can actually cut them out of green, cut these out of pink, and then you can actually put those right on top. How cute is that? And then you can set like all these different colors that you want to in your little like bouquet. So what I did is I just grabbed everything that I had and I added some pink. There's some peach in there. And I even have some green flowers. And then I added some little doodads and we're going to do kind of all of that crazy stuff. And what's neat is with this stamp set, you do get this beautiful, I mean, this silhouette leaf is big. This is really large. And I love that about it. Because it didn't take that much to actually cover my entire background. And I like that. But you could do, if you wanted to do I like the fact that it had these smaller leaves to it, but then it also had like these gigantic leaves. So that might be, Sue, it is shimmer paste. You got that right. And so I used some shimmer paste. I grabbed that off. And I just think that these 2 tools are really cute. And then you have all these sentiments. You have hugs that's a little bit larger. And then you have all of these small sub-sentiments. And so those are actually the ones that I put out here. And then just to show you guys an example, I thought this was cute with the multiple crates. So you can see how you can put a couple in on those. So adorable, right? Yeah, if you have this is cute. And then I love how they set this up with like little nasturtiums, like they made them all kinds of different colors. So cute. Oh, staggered. You guys, I love the ideas pouring in. That's why this community is so great. We have all these awesome ideas. All right, so I'm going to get going to show you how I did this card. And then hopefully I have time for the second one. How's my garden? Tracy, there is still snow on the ground, but every day I come home and there's like cool stuff going on. So I'm actually really excited to see all of the stuff that's happening. And I forget who it was up here who had said that they're, oh, I see our Gould from Michigan. Hello, you have today off work. Enjoy. I hope you're having a good day. And Carrie is correct. That is definitely some shimmer relief paste. And I forget who is coming in from, here it is, Beth Ann from Mississippi. The red buds have just bloomed. And I know that's coming. Oh, I'm so glad you are here, Michelle, that you were able to catch us here. All right. So I have a piece of A2 cardstock. I'm just going to put that right in the middle of my mat. And what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to do a little bit of ombre stamping. Now I'm going wild because I am not, and I realized that I have not used my stamp wheel for quite a few times. I don't know how I'm feeling about that. I don't know if I'm going rogue. I don't know if I'm feeling more comfortable about like using a stamping block, but normally you could not catch me doing anything without a stamp positioner because I am just not super great at it. All right. So you can tell that I'm kind of trying to keep like a pastel, kind of theme going on. So I'm keeping it with like blues and greens and some pinks. So I'm going to keep this guy in the corner. I'm going to move him over just in a second. And so we can kind of focus here. So I have a stamping block. It's a big stamping block because this is pretty big. And the colors I'm going to use are from the Seashore set, and also from the Cool Summer Nights set. And I'm going to do a little bit of ombre stamping. So I'm just going to put these out here so that way you can kind of see what the heck they look like, the color kind of way where we're going to. And I know I'm really zoomed in because I wanted you guys to see the stamping, but you can kind of see I'm trying to pick up that blue, but also like a greeny blue that there. Oh, Sue, I have to say I was a little nervous with the gold shimmer paste, and this is a nice way to use it that it wasn't so scary. I did get a little messy, but it wasn't so scary. All right, so when I stamp a little bit of ombre, I am going to, in this case, I'm just going to use the Seashore. So let me pull all these Cool Summer Nights out. And I'm actually going to start with some emerald. And I went for like a little bit of an ombre look where I started very dark and I went a little, I went light. And let me show you what I mean. And again, this is also why I didn't tack anything down on this card, because I wanted to deconstruct it for you so you could see all the pieces, because there's a lot of pieces here. So that's what I mean. So this is where we're going to start right now, is I'm going to stamp this. And so this background is from the Cool Summer Nights, but the stamping of the leaves, this is Seashore. So I'm going to start with emerald, and I'm going to make my way down to Volcano Lake. Can you use shimmer paste direct on stamps? I wonder, Sue. I don't see why not. I don't know how good it would come out because it's kind of on the thicker side, but we can definitely try it. Why not? Let's see. Let's check it out. All right. I might probably use I may use embossing powder. I might, if I had to choose on that one, use embossing powder. The other thing that I have here is I'm going to use a mini blending brush, and this is just to make sure I don't have any harsh lines. So when I put these on, you'll kind of see that. And you are welcome, Beth Ann. It is honestly because I forget everything, and so everything has to like be labeled so I know what the heck is going on. So what Beth Ann is referring to is that I have to label my inks not only with the name, but also the color number, because I'm like, I look at them and I'm like, it's 1 and 2, right? So 1 and 2. So when I refer to it 1 and 2, this means it's the lightest color in the family, and 4 happens to be the darkest color in the family. And that's how I do that. And by the way, these are the Altenew labels. They're so fabulous because when you stack these, which is really the awesome thing about the fresh dye inks, is you can see what they are instead of them being all white. So it's really hard on that one. Oh, thank you so much, Tracy, for sharing this. And your thumb is up. Awesome. All right. So I'm gonna stamp this as a background. So I'm gonna grab some Lagoon, and I'm also going to grab the number 3 ink, which, oh, sorry, that is the number 3 ink. I'm gonna grab some Emerald, which is the number 4 ink. And I'm also gonna grab some Lagoon. So I'm just gonna start to add this over. Now, if you're one of those people that you have a really hard time, like you don't want your ink pads to get all icky, that's where you can use the mini blending brush. But I'm just going to get some ink up on this stamp. And like I said, you can see I can a little bit, I'm having some harsh lines. And so I can come in with this blending brush and I can stipple that in. All right, so I just want to get this pretty right on there. And then I'm going to come in with the Lagoon, and I'm just going to come up at the top. And you're going to see how big this thing is. It's a nice size of a stamp. Okay. And I may want to treat this. Let's get this little ichor, but that ichor out of the way. And then I'm going to come back in with my Lagoon. And again, Lagoon is number 3. Now, when I stamp a background and I'm stamping all over, what I want to make sure that I'm doing is I'm rotating my, my stamp. And so I'm just going to start out, again, I'm going dark over to light. So I'm just going to stamp this down. And this is going to look like pretty dark, right? It's going to look pretty dark. All right, get that. And good scientist table. I know. Tracy's right. That's exactly it. I have to like, because I'm starting off with dark, I still have like some good ink on here. And so I'm going to come back in again. But when I stamp this again, now I'm going to have those tiny leaves up at the top. So I'm actually going to add that darkest color Emerald right up at the top instead of the bottom. If you were like, what the heck do you, oh, I popped off again. You guys are like, hey, Amy, what are you doing? If you're like, I'm not quite sure exactly what you mean there, Amy. What it means is that when I did this last time, my Emerald's up here, which is that darkest color, and it fades into Lagoon. And I know right now it looks like it's like kind of all one color. Just trust the process, please. We'll get there. Just trust the process. All right, so I'm keeping that because I'm going to shift this up, and now I'm going to come in with that Lagoon. And like I said, I can use my blending tool to stipple, or if I get anything in there, or if there's any harsh lines. Oh yeah, so that helps too, Sue, because that kind of gets some of that icky stuff off. Now I'm just rotating this just so I can get this in here and fit it in. And I'm just going right down. And I think this goes faster when this goes faster with a stamping block, which is why I'm using the stamping block on there. And Sue's right. You can kind of see this is beating up a little bit. And that's because this is a newer stamp, but I can use my stamp conditioning erasers, which I thought I had done a good job on, but I will do that again. But also, as this is a dye ink, that's going to like fade through. All right, that's going to totally fade through. All right, now let me just grab, I'm just going to take some of this ink off just a little bit. And I'm also just going to grab my stamp conditioning eraser. I just want to grab any kind of ichors off of there. Okay, and get that. Okay, so now I'm going to push Emerald by the wayside. Okay, so Emerald's going away because that's my number 4. So now I'm going to have just Lagoon, and I'm going to bring in my number 2, which is Volcano Lake. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that same process, but now I'm going to use these two. Coastal Mist set. No, I don't, Tracy. I just saw that. That's definitely on my wish list. Like they keep coming out with new inks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much. I don't know what to do. All right, so I ended with the large guys here. So I'm going to start with the large guys up there as well. So I'm going to use my Lagoon, and I'm just going to get that a little dark. And this, I'm going to make mostly on the Volcano Lake side. And again, if this freaks you out, it's okay. You can use your blending brush. I'm okay with mixing the inks on my pads at all. It's like a dilution effect. There's so much more of Volcano Lake on here that you're really not going to notice the other stuff. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to come in here with this guy. All right, now you're going to see that ombre start to come. And sometimes it's when you have something that's lighter or you have something that's darker that really depends on, or like kind of starts to show the color. And this will make sense in a second. So let me come off. All right, now you can start to see that graduation color, right? So we're going from dark to light, and there we are. Oh, that stuff is amazing, isn't it? So I love that, Beth Ann. You put the Altenew stamp cleaner in there. And hello, I see Lori from California. Hello, first live. I'm so glad you're here. And that is Leslie from Rochester, Washington. How are you doing? All right, Rochester, that's near Seattle, right? I think I know that. All right, now we're going to come in. Now, these are tiny leaves. So I'm going to start up with the tiny leaves on this one. And this is where I'm going to do Lagoon, just up at the top. And now I'm going to come in with my volcano lake. And I'm actually going to just try to hit the middle of this. And I'm going to finish this up with my lightest color, which is the mountain mist. And I just double checked that I got relatively good coverage on that. And now I'm going to come in and I'm just going to do a little ombre right here. And I'm off the page. Oh yeah, it helps me so much, Cheryl. You have no idea. It just was one of those things. I'm like, it's just, I never know. I always have, like, I'm always in my colors because the names don't help me. I have to use the numbers because the names are like, I don't know what the heck's going on. All right, now, Altenew stamp cleaner. Oh, the best stuff. I'm just going to spritz this real quick, and this ink will come right off. So easy to do. And like I said, I really like this stamp because this stamp, it's so neat to have this nice large silhouette leaf that is in this stamp set. All right. And for those of you who are just joining us, and thank you so much for being here, we have Han behind the badge. Please share this live while we're live, and you'll be entered to win a gift card to Altenew, and Han will be announcing that winner at the end of our program. And I am playing around with the Gardener's Corner Mini Delight, and this is the set from April. So it's a little bit of a sneak peek. This will be in the shop in April. And if you are a subscriber, as some of you are, you already have this. And so this is some inspiration. And if you're like, I don't know, I don't have this, that's okay, because you can do these techniques with whatever stuff that you have on hand. All right. So this is our background. Now I'm going to come in just to show you where we are headed. I'm going to bring in my example card. And again, it's deconstructed, and I did that on purpose just because there are a lot of layers to it. And so this is where we are heading. Is we're going to have this nice little, I'm actually going to change it up a little bit because I didn't love how this went from dark to light. I'm going to spotlight this a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's where we're heading to next. So this was stamped with the Seashore inks, which are this beautiful kind of bluey green. So gorgeous. So absolutely gorgeous. And I am going to come in and I am going to ink blend using the Cool Summer Night inks. Okay. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Carrie, for mentioning that. There's a subscriber workshop. Ooh, that's next week. And that's at noon. That is at noon, which is a little early. All right. Now, since I'm covering such a large panel, I'm going to be using the large blending brush because this is going to make this job really, really super fast. And I'm also just going to grab just some typing paper so I can put under my workspace if I can find any. I think it's on my other desk. I have like 2 desks that I craft on, and I think my other one's over there. So I am going to wing it. That's what I'm doing. I'm winging it. All right. I'll be fine. I'll wing it. All right. So with this, I'm going to actually start out with this darkest color, which is Desert Night. So gorgeous. So beautiful. And I can't do it, guys. I have to have a little bit of paper under there. It's going to freak me out. That way I don't have to clean it up. All right, here we go. Just rip out the page. All right. Oh my gosh, we have Linda from New Zealand. Hello, everybody. And by the way, please, if you're enjoying this live, hit that like button, that follow button, share this around, and say, hey, you know what? We got this cool live from Altenew with Han behind the badge. I mean, let's face it. This is worth the price of admission just for hanging out with Han. That's what I think. Okay. All right. So I loaded up my brush, and I'm just going to start going. Now, I'm going to make a little bit of a spotlight. So I'm going to change my original plan where I had that ombre. And what I'm doing is I'm going in with that dark. And you can start off with the light. This is eventually going to fade all the way through, but I'm going to get this nice dark. Now I'm going to eventually cut down this panel. So it's okay. So if you have any like blending mistakes or anything that's like, ugh, it's awful, don't worry, it will all kind of go away. And this is our workout for today. So I'm done. No need for the gym for me. I am just going for it here. All right, I'm doing, this is called spotlight blending, where I'm making the edges really, really super dark. And I'm going to do something else with the edges in just a moment. All right, and ask me any questions. If you have any questions about Altenew products, techniques, which plants are coming in, love to know that. Oh, thank you so much. It's so neat, Laura. I hope for those of you who are first timers, thank you for letting us know. It's so exciting. We have lives here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if you happen to join in on Tuesdays, our co-president, Jen Raza, she does a challenge. And so many of you guys do the challenge, which is so nice. I have those cubes in mini color cubes. I cut the colored names. Oh, that's a great idea. So that way you can see it in the storage rack. Yeah, anything. It's, because each one of us has our own methodology for storage, because it's all about what makes the most sense to you. As long as you can see your stuff and you can use it. And I love getting ideas for storage or how people use things, because sometimes that sparks my own creativity in what the heck is going on. I got to tell you, I don't know if I even need more than Desert Night. This is looking pretty sweet. One of my favorite colors, Sapphire, is right behind this, but Desert Night, it's gorgeous. It's just a beautiful blue. You don't think about it for spring because we think about pastels, but the way that it kind of dries back and just the like beauty that it has, it's so nice. All right, I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead here. All right, I have like a little bit of stuff on here. This is when you know you're having fun. Can you see that? This is gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. I have a lot of stuff on here. I probably should grab some sea glass, which is my light guy, but I'm actually just going to take what I have in here and I'm just going to go pretty light in the middle. And again, I'm trying to keep that fairly light. So see how it looks like it's glowing from the inside? So it's kind of neat on that end. All right. Now, I saw in there of Judy saying, I never thought of inking over an inked image. Judy, I had another crazy thought, which I did not do in my original panel. I wanted to get everybody's opinion. I'm thinking about embossing this because it's going to give a lot of texture. And I thought that would be cool as well. So craft a lanch. I love that. And so what do you guys think? Embossing folder? Yay. Embossing folder. No, Amy, just keep it where it is. I'd love to know. And the embossing folder I was thinking of was I had like two ideas. I was thinking of either organic linen because it's like a nice subtle texture to it, or I don't know. This is a little crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. I just grabbed this. I have this basic plaid too, but a lot of the Altenew, would be kind of neat. But I think I want to emboss this because I think it's crazy pants. I'm gonna grab some ocean waves. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little ocean waves. I just want a little bit of depth. Just because it's just one color right now. So I'm just going to come in and add in a little bit more. And this is a light blue, but I'm really trying to avoid as much as I can that middle because I'm liking that middle. I'm just trying to give the extra, like the sides, just a little bit more depth to it. And again, because this is the green, so you can kind of see how that green starts to glow because we did the back on it, right? I was thinking about that too, Tracy. I was like, oh, I should do a leaves one. But then I was like, is that too much, right? Is that too many leaves? So I wasn't sure. So I wanted to get your guys' opinion on what you thought. All right, I'm going to give this a little bit more. Do I want more? I'm going to give it this is where I have to say it gets let's go dust. It gets a little crazy for me because, hi, my name is Amy and I'm a blending addict and I don't know when to stop. Because I can just keep going and futzing with a card and trying to get like that perfect thing. And it's kind of like, when you're like doing up your hair in the morning and you just go longer and longer, and then you just take more and more and more and more time. But the result is the same pretty much as if you had just woken up, taken your shower, and gone to work. That's what I feel like with blending. Sometimes I just can't stop. I just keep going. All right, so I'm going to stop because I got too much to do. All right, here we go. Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm going to do it. Okay. All right, so where we are right now, let me put my inks to the side and try my best to get this off of me, is we have a little bit of a spotlit blending technique. And again, if you're just, oh, I forgot to show you guys. I didn't. Sorry. There was one other thing which was ridiculously subtle. Let me see if I can show you guys. I did not do this because I didn't know if it was totally worth it. Can you guys see this line? Can you see this line? Can you see this line? Can you guys see that? And that's because I actually used the cloud stencil, but I think I'm not going to pull that in. But I used the cloud stencil just to give me even more depth when I blended this out. So this was my original card that I brought for you guys, and this is an ombre versus doing it with the spotlight technique. And I kind of like the spotlight technique a little bit better versus doing the ombre. So I kind of liked the way that this came out. But yeah. And you, Judy, oh my gosh, blending brush. Yes. You definitely need the larger blending brush. And Han was sharing that this is that perfect picker, also great for pointing things out. And this thing is amazing. We will be using this very much in the later part of our show. All right, so I am not going to do that. I will, however, use the organic linen embossing folder. I'm going to why? Oops. Hopefully, it'll pop out on you. Because I want to give this a little bit more texture. Since, although these flowers are really neat, it is small, right? So I'm trying to give more to this card so it has some other stuff to do. All right, so I'm going to throw this guy into here. And I'm just going to run this right through my embossing machine. And I may have to back up for this a little bit. Because I'm really zoomed in for you guys right now. Ooh. All right, so I'm going to back up just a little bit so you can see what the heck I'm doing. That goes. There we go. You can see the edges of my messy disc. All right, so let me put this in. Okay, so this one is platform, plate, embossing stuff, and then plate. And I'm not adding any water to this or spritzing it because there's already so much, like the ink is making it a little wet and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to roll this through. All right. And I'm kind of with Tracy. If I like wasn't live, I would actually try like having a leafy one. But again, like I said, I thought the leafy embossing folder might be too much. All right, so that's done. Now, are we ready for the reveal? How cool is that? It's neat, right? It's cool. So now when we add our other elements on there, we have all of that super texture. And I think that that's going to be really neat. All right, so now let's build the rest of this guy. Okay, so this is our background. I'm going to do one more thing just to mutz with this because today is all about mutzing. I'm going to add some ink sprays. So I have some organic, I saw organic. I have some antique gold, and I'm using antique gold because I'm going to have a lot of gold elements on this that are about to come into play. So I want to tie all of those in together. And also because this is green, right, and blue, I have some Lagoon ink spray, and I even have a little bit of Mountain Mist. And this is the lightest green from the Seashore inks. And this is the medium green from those Seashore inks. And I'm going to put these on now because that way, by the time I get to this, it will totally like dry on it. Okay, not a problem, right? Yeah, Team Spotlight, right? Isn't this cute? So I'm glad I'm kind of changed it. I don't know how you guys do, but I don't know if you like have an idea in your head about what like the way you think a card is going to go. And then all of a sudden that starts to kind of shift on you a little bit. But I did it, and then I'm like, I'm totally in love with it. And I think I want to just shift it out. That was way too much in the dark, my light in there, which I don't love. Oh my gosh, Roberta, did you have this one? Do you have this mini delight? The Gardener's Corner? I'd love to know. I hope you try this. And I saw somebody had talked about the Altenew fan group, and that is such a wonderful group because you can get even more inspiration from other people. You can post things, you can ask questions, things like, should I, after I stamp and then also ink blend on a piece of paper, should I also run it under an embossing folder, and which one should I? You know, Tracy, aren't these fabulous? Oh, the ink sprays, like, especially if you are splatter challenged, the ink sprays are just a super easy way to add splatter without having to even think about it, except when you're mountainous. All right, so just a little bit, and all that's doing is just adding a little bit of shine and a little bit of movement. All right, so I'm going to move that guy to the side. We're going to put him to the side. And just if you're joining us, just as a reminder, we are talking about the April Mini Delight, which is the Gardener's Corner. And I'd love to know if you have it. Oh my gosh, and Misty, you just subscribed. Oh, that's so super fabulous. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you did. And there's so many subscriptions. I love the Mini Delight because, like, I like the price point. And because you're a subscriber, you get it a couple of dollars cheaper and you get it first, which is kind of neat. There's a lot of cool perks with that. Yes, right? No, totally, Judy. If you just do it, like, I barely ever actually use the spray nozzle on things, to be perfect. I think they're probably clogged by this time. Oh, that's great, Morgan. I'm so glad that you're here. Oh my gosh. All right. Next, now we have to cut out some stuff. So we're going to use these dies. I'm going to cut out a bunch of stuff. Before I do that, though, do I want to show you this? Yes, I do. Okay, guys, where did this come from? Where do you think? That was be right, the trellis die. And Spinroo, you definitely need to go grab and open that sucker up. This right here is the trellis die. And it's all, I grabbed this only because I don't know where the heck my trellis stencil is. It's got to be lost in the ether somewhere. So I just took the Altenew 80-pound cardstock, and this here is the trellis die. And this I cut already off the camera. And what I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to actually cut this down, and you'll notice I didn't want like edges, and I'm going to actually cut this down even more. Now you'll notice it has some, my lights might be too bright. It has some shimmery gold to it. And so that's what I'm going to play with right now, is I'm going to get that shimmer on it. And you could do this using embossing powder, but I feel like that's going to be too heavy. You could also use like ink, but that's almost too light. So I thought the happy medium, believe it or not, was the shimmer relief paste. And so I grabbed this. Now, again, I cannot leave the house after this live because look at me. Like, this is going to be on me for days. You guys know that. This is a badge of honor, right? Everyone always asks you, are you okay? Are you all right? Yes, I'm fine. I just lost my battle with blue ink. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to grab some of this, and you can see that consistency. And Sue, I know you had said that like you hadn't really played around with these yet. They're really super nice. So they are really nice and creamy. Let me lift that up again so you can kind of see that. Like, it's redonkadonk, the amount of shimmer on there. And I'm going to bring my paper back just because I know I'm going to get this everywhere. And I have just like a little bit on the tip of my finger. And I'm going to zoom in again because my desk got a little bit crazy. We're going to be doing that in just a second. So I'm going to zoom in for you guys. Careful. All right. So all I'm going to do is I'm just splattering this sucker around. I don't want it all over the place because I want it in certain sections, and I want it to look a little rustic or weathered or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to smooth it. And you can see it's like a freaking mess in the back. And just grab like a little bit more. But when you lift it up, can you see that? So I'm looking for it just to be a little bit, well, and I saw that, I know, Roberta, there are stencils for the splatter challenge, which actually I do happen to, because I am Hello, my name is Amy and I am splatter challenged. All right, here we go. There we go. I'm just looking to see. I just want to make sure I have some like heavy spots and some like lighter spots. And I'm going to cut this down eventually, and then I can always add more. And the reason why I'm doing it now is because this allows this to dry for just a little bit. Okay. All right, and there we go. That's it. Done. Boom. Done, done, done. Yeah, it's really great. I love it. It's neat. And like I said, I'm trying to tie all these gold elements together. All right, so I'm going to shove that guy over to the side. This will be back. We are going to use him again, but I'm going to move him over to the side for right now. So Shimmer Relief Paste, we will be seeing you very, very soon. Now, I am going to bring out my best friend in the world, and who I just lost. Oh, here he is. I found him. This is Mini Blossom. Hello, Mini Blossom. How are you doing today? We're going to use Mini Blossom for these dies, and I'm also going to use Altenew colored paper. And I find, especially when I am die cutting things like this, and again, we're in that gardener's corner, is if I start out with colored paper, then it doesn't take me as long. Like I don't have to sit there and build up color, right? And so I'm going to start off with colored paper because then I can add stuff to it instead of having to get it to be up. I know you can use white. I know you totally can, but I'm just going to use colored paper. All right, so I'm going to grab some tan paper, and this is from our. I have them all here, but I'm just using scraps of all of the stuff. This is from the coffee break set. So this is the coffee break set. And this color is actually probably a little darker than I want. I actually want a little bit lighter than that. But I had already used up. You know what? Yeah, this is what I think I want this to be a little bit lighter. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this guy right here. And he's really super easy to cut out because, and I love how it's all one thing. And I'll show you how, and I am going to show you how to put him together. He took me a second. Like when I did this for my practice run, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. How the heck does this work? Because there's a lot of pieces. The other thing, little tip coming in 3, 2, 1. Is when you are about to die cut and you have like a bunch of pieces, this is where your buddy, your friend and mine, the 9x12 sticky mat, I'm going to take all these die cuts and I'm going to shove them on them. I'm going to be doing it off camera and then I'll bring this back in. Okay. But how cute is this? He's going to come out. Comes out really, really super easy. And the graining is already on. The graining is already on the bottom of that box. So I'm just going to pop him out and put him right over there, just so I don't lose any pieces because I hate that when I lose pieces. Okay. There we go. And 2 more. And again, so cute, so super cute. And if any pieces get stuck like these are, this is where your perfect picker comes in and you can just get those suckers right on. I apologize that I'm doing this off camera. It's just because my desk got really, really small all of a sudden. There we go. Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we got that guy done. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the leaves. So there's a set of leaves, and these are all leaves, and it cuts out like this branch and these branch. I'm going to run these through twice. And right. And that's what I'm saying. Like the Mini Delights, if you're a traveler or you go like on a cruise and you want to bring something to do, these Mini Delights are great sets to use. These are the things that I bring. I just throw 3 in. You can use them for a whole bunch of things, and they're small enough that you can run them through your Mini Blossom if you still want to do the die cutting. There's also like a little sprig of lavender, and then you have these other like nasturtium looking things. So we're going to do those in a moment. Now I could do this on my larger machine and then I can run through a couple. And, do like a couple of them at a time, but I am doing this way so that way you guys get a chance to kind of take a look at all of them. So I'm grabbing green, and like I said, I have like all of these extra little pieces, and I'm just going to grab, except for green, and I just keep everything in my, like this little box, and I have some papers in here. So I'm just going to grab some green. All right. And this green is from the Green Meadows Gradient Cardstock set, and this is Sweet Leaf. So again, nice and light because I'm going to add stuff to it, right? Oh my gosh, ice cream. I need to know what you had, Wanda, because ice cream, we take that very, very seriously in my household. Oh, and it's so cool that it fits. I love that Miss Camp. Again, if you are a gardener, this is such a cute set. And then those just pop. Those will come right out. And I think I need to use the shim on this because I am getting a little bit of trouble. If you have, like in this case, I think it's because I need new plates. But I'm just going to fit this back in there. I'm just going to shove that shim in, and then that will come right through. In fact, I am going to, while I have this, I'm going to cut these other ones out of the green. And what this is going to do is it's going to give me the base for those other flowers. All right, here we go. And I'm just going to throw all those on there right now. Okay. Now, I was nervous that when I did this the first time, because there's only like the leaves and like a flower and a, one sprig of lavender, I was like, oh my God, am I going to have enough? And to be honest, yes, you do. And it just kind of depends on how much you want your box to be filled, is how much you're going to end up having. But it is quite a lot that's in there. All right, so that's the little guy. And then these little leaves, I'm going to run this through again. So I got a couple more leaves. And this, these are all the little flowers, and that's neat too. So we got that. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. And I'm just going to do one more leaf grouping, and then we're going to move on to our pretty flowers, and then we're going to start putting all of this craziness together. All right. And again, hopefully you shared this live while we're live. Hint at all, you can use new plates. I have them. I just haven't grabbed them out of storage yet. I do own them. And by the way, if you do grab the mini blossom, do not cut into your B plate. It is not what the B plate's for. Guess what I did? Don't do that. Don't be like me. Do not cut into your B plate. Okay. And one more. All right. I'm so excited for you guys to check out and see how these are put together because they are so stinking cute. All right. So now I'm going to grab some pink. I think this pink is too dark. I wanted lighter pink. Let's see if I have enough on here. Oh, I love it. You can tell I had, you'll be able to see this in a second. I apologize. I'm a little off screen. So I'm going to roll this through, and then I'm going to do this on a peach. So right now, these are the flowers. And I love the fact that this is running through that flowers because you'll be able to see this in just a second. It's really cute. Okay. All right. And again, everything is right here. And you have the stem, and then you have 3 little flowers, and we're going to put all of these little guys together. All right. So I'm going to now bring in my mat so that way you can see what the heck I've been doing off screen. And we are going to now enhance these. And that's the key, is we're going to now enhance this. Oh, except I forgot to do this other guy in purple, but that's fine. All right. So what we have here. All right. We have our box, and I'm just going to pop out these little extra bits. Those don't go anywhere. Those are not part of this. And I'm going to show you the front and the bottom. And so this is the front, and you know it is because, and it's hard to see right now. I'm going to enhance this in just a second so you can, but this has like a graining look on it. And then this is the other part of the box. So when you put these together, this becomes the bottom. So you want to kind of flip that around. And then this guy goes on top like that. And that's how the bottom of the box. I'm going to show that again. Okay. So when it comes out of the die, it usually looks like this. And you're going to take this one, you're going to turn that around. And then this part with the graining that goes on top. And you can tell because this little bottom of the little Batman mask is there. And that's how they go together. All right. So just be mindful, etc. Oh, Wendy, I'm so glad that you were able to join us, even if your chat wasn't working. Okay. Now let's enhance. So first way to enhance a die cut is I'm going to use some ink. And so I have some mocha ink, and I also have a blending brush. Now, you can use your mini blending brush because the mini blending brushes, you can use them like on the side and stuff like that. Or you can use, this is a really great time to have that detail blending brush, because this has 3 brushes and different sizes, and they're angled. And that's so neat, right? That is really cool. There's also, if you love the flat, and again, when you have a flat, it's a little bit, you can still kind of angle it. And this is the micro blending brush set. So you have kind of, in my opinion, 3 options. You can go for the mini, you can go for the micro, or you can go for the detail. And it really just depends on what you're going to do. So I'm going to use all of these things. Yeah. And Sylvia, it's totally fine if you're like, whoa, what the heck happened? Just throw a comment into that fan group, or you can email us or watch this again. And you definitely will be able to see that. All right. Since I'm going to have a little bit larger size, I'm going to start off with my micro, and then I'm going to start to move down. Now I want the back of the crate to be a little bit darker. And so I'm going to add some mocha to that. And I'm just going to come in from the sides. This is going to be a little bit of that spotlight, but this is really going to start to darken this up. And we're not even going to see this part. I'm just thorough. I'm just being really thorough. Okay. Now, so that's just really, really fast, just adds a little bit. This one, like I said, it's so hard to see that graining. So I'm just going to come in and really, really lightly. I still want this to be the lighter section, but I want you to see the graining, because that's kind of the cool part about this. So I'm just going to come in and lightly cover that over the top. Now, I'm going to do one more step. I'm going to grab my shimmer relief paste, and I'm going to go back in with the best tool ever, which is your finger. And I'm just going to grab just a tiny bit. And I obviously got way too much. And Tracy's right. Like if you had a project like under this, you could catch kind of the off that I'm about to do. And I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to smear it on top of my little crate. And what this is going to do is it's going to give it a light shimmer. And again, you could be like, oh, we can do this with embossing powder. But what's neat about the shimmer paste is it's not heavy. Like if I put embossing powder on this, it would be kind of thick and add layer. But this just kind of goes in. And let me see if I can show you. You can start to see the graining pop up a little bit. You see that? And so now when I put it together with this guy, so there's my little see that little Batman mask? Then that is where we're going to end up with it. All right, let me get this glued so that way we can get this guy together. And you can add more if you want to add a different color. Absolutely do that. But I thought that was neat. I'm not going to add in ink along here because I want to stick some flowers in. But I'm going to put the ink definitely on the edges and the side. So just try to avoid this section because then you can stick your flowers in there once they go in. Okay, and I know I'm good. Oh, I got 6 minutes. I'm just about perfect. All right, so there's my little crate, and you can add more if you want to add more ink. You can add a little bit more ink in there, put a little bit more. Now, what's also cool is that there are these little edges. Now, there's edges that go on the sides of the crate. There's one that's a double, and the double goes right in the middle. So there's 3 sections, 1, 2, 3. This one goes right in the middle. And I think it goes this way. I don't know if it really matters, but it goes up that way. Okay, so then that's the side. And then these guys just go right along the edges. One is a little bit thinner than the other one, and you can decide which one you think is which. I really can't tell. I think they look pretty darn similar. And again, I just kind of shoved those right on the edges. And I kept them really light because I kind of like that look. And then this one was the one I had a little hard time getting out of my die. So I'm just going to take this and just cut off these little remnants so I can have it. And then I'm just going to put this right on my little crate. And like you guys had at the beginning is like so cute. for this crate. So think about all those cool stuff. Somebody mentioned vegetables, cats. You can put cats in the crate, dogs. Oh my gosh, you can do so much. And I love the size of this crate because that's so neat. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. You guys are all singing the Batman theme. I love it. All right, just kind of getting this little edge out. So there is there's my little crate. How cute is he? So cute. Okay, all right, we got just enough time. I'm going to show you how to put some flowers together. With the leaves, I'm just going to take some ink and I am just going to make them a little bit darker. I'm actually going to use this same mocha ink and I'm just going to come right in and I'm just going to stipple right along the edges. And you could use green if you wanted to. You could use a beautiful, like that emerald green would look great, but sometimes I just like to add a little brown because, you know, they have brown spots. But I also think the emerald green would be cute on this too. Okay, so I'm just going to do that really fast. And then I'm going to show you guys the flowers. So this right here is my flower base. And then these are the 3 flowers. I'm going to go ahead and glue them down first, just so I show you guys how to do them. And they are unique. So there's one that looks like a little starfish that's got 5 points. And that one goes up at the top with the little starfish head, like the smallest point going up. And then there's one over here, Tracy, for you. This is a little butterfly one. And this one looks like a little butterfly. And so you put this one down. And I kind of had to like make sure I had it in the right spot. So I was just turning it until like I really, really made sure that it was there. There you go. Got it? Okay. And again, the glue is great here because that's really going to give you a little bit of time. And I apologize, I'm not totally watching the chat. So if you have a question, let me know. I will look up in just a second, but I am gluing at light speed. And the last one is the last one. This one I probably found a little bit of the trickiest. And this one, I just had to keep turning until I got it. This one looks like a bow to me. So I just kind of kept turning it until it made sense. Like that does not make sense. So I'm going to turn it one more time. And this is where those tweezers come into play. Looks like a little X. So we put that guy down. And then that is your little flower. How cute is he? So cute. Now, we're going to take this. I can add a little bit of ink. Now, these are small. So this is where that detailed blending brush would come into play. I'm actually, believe it or not, going to grab my, if I can find them again. Here they are. My gel inks, my gel ink pens. And what you can do with these, which is really cool, is I'm going to add little gold centers to them. And then I'm actually going to come in with some markers and add some other color. Okay. And bear with me. I apologize if I don't get to that, to the other things. That's totally fine. Okay. So I'm just going to grab my gold ink pen and I'm just going to add some gold ink to those centers. And now I'm going to come in with my markers. And I think I want to go too dark. Let me go right here. And I'm just going to do just a little bit. These are a little, oops, sorry. This is a little pink or a little purpley. But just because I just want to add just a little bit of depth. And I'm just going right around the middle with this, just to add a little bit of depth. And so those kind of look like they're little cute guys, little cute guys. Oh, love it. So now when you get to your card, so let me put all this together. So I now have my card base. Oh, I'm going to do this in record time, Han. You ready? Record time. I'm going to take this piece, which was our trellis, and I'm going to cut this. And I want about like a 2x2 kind of section. Oh, that might be too small. That's all right. We'll work with it. Now, I don't want it to be like a perfect square, so I'm just going to cut like some of these little parts out. So I don't want it to be like a perfect kind of square. I want it to kind of work a little bit and look like it's a little broken. Okay. And let's cut this section off. There we go. All right, so now we got this little trellis piece, which is so cute. And if I had time, I would, here's my little box. And now I can start to put all my little flowers in, and I can stick them in because I did not glue that section down. So I can start to stick them in here. And then you can add them all in. And so this was my original little box. I'll replace this with all my little flowers hanging out. But here's my little guy, my little flowers, my leaves. And then, of course, we have a little sentiment. And that sentiment, which if I can find it, it says, sending you sunshine, because that's definitely what I need today. All right, sending you a little sunshine, and that's our card. And again, I hope that you take this idea, but you can see that by just having that trellis, and you can make that trellis bigger. I know I cut it because I was getting a little fast there, but if you make that trellis a little bit bigger, then you can start to see, and then using some foam tape, how much that little guy starts to pop through. So cute. And again, this is the Gardener's Corner Mini Delight. And thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you, Han, for being here behind the badge. But this is April's Mini Delight. Or if you're a subscriber, you might already have this in the mail or in your possession. All right, everybody. I am so glad. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me today. I really appreciated it. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you for letting Altenew craft your life. Bye, everybody.